Things have taken a shocking turn between Blueface's mom, Karlissa and Chrisean, with the situation escalating to an extremely serious level. Recently, Karlissa made some unsettling claims, suggesting that Chrisean may be involved in the murder of her ex-boyfriend, Ronny. It's no secret that Karlissa and Chrisean have never gotten along, but these latest allegations are beyond surprising. To add context, Ronny had been stirring up attention in recent months as he publicly stated that Chrisean's son, Chrisean Junior, was actually his child and not Blueface's. He even claimed to have evidence to back up his assertion and was in the process of arranging a court-ordered DNA test to settle the matter once and for all. Tragically, before any resolution could come, Ronny was killed outside his own home. Karlissa wasted no time in stepping in with her own version of events, suggesting that Chrisean may know more about Ronny's death than she's letting on. In fact, Karlissa hinted that Chrisean might have orchestrated the entire thing in an attempt to keep her secret under wraps. It's a tangled web of accusations, so let's break down what's really going on here. Karlissa has this uncanny ability to insert herself into situations that really have nothing to do with her. It's almost like she can't resist being in the mix, even when it doesn't concern her at all. She has been vocal about her dislike for Chrisean, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Her relationship with Blueface's other baby mama, Jaden Alexis, is just as rocky. The tension between them is pretty obvious, and it's clear they're far from being on friendly terms. The constant back and forth between them has almost become a never-ending saga. Fans have even started to wonder whether there's any genuine love between Karlissa and Blueface. The constant jabs they throw at each other on social media make it hard to believe there's anything but tension and chaos between them. The way they publicly drag each other online has left people questioning whether there's something deeper going on or if it's all just for attention. It's tough to tell what's real anymore, especially when it all seems to unfold on social media for the world to see. For example, when Blueface proposed to Jaden, Karlissa decided to act petty and shame him for it, saying, "Did this ninja propose to the maid? Oh well, it's October. Now tell the people you married the maid just in case you go to prison." This made Blueface so mad that he went on a rant against his mom, saying, "Post your ring and I'ma post mine. You want to compare booties, right, Karlissa? Let's compare rings. Let's see what type of ring that old booty got and what type of ring that new booty got. My wife gone always win. Karlissa married a bum. After all them D's she took, she settled for that lil ring. My wife had one D her whole life." He also said, "My mother is a been married 3 times, 3 kids by 3 different men, and never married none of them men. Only random men she liked with a lot of money so she could divorce and take from them, and at the end of it all, she's sleeping with a bum every night. Sad story for real. Could never respect her as a woman. My mom's ring is 1 carat with 0.5 stones surrounding it. I'm not even gone, tell y'all. Jaden ring credentials, it's gone. Be embarrassing for the comparison is evident. If you got more than 1 BD as a woman, you're a whore. It's that simple. Life is like a box of D's. Pick one and go." Chilly, at this point, you have to seriously wonder if she even has a real connection with her own son. I mean, what kind of mother and son are out here going at each other like that on social media? It's honestly a bit disturbing. And then, when you throw Chrisean into the whole mess, I think we can all see where this is headed. It's about to get even messier. Look, I'm not trying to throw shade, but let's keep it real. When Chrisean first announced she was pregnant, it was clear this whole situation was going to be nothing short of a hot mess. I mean, Blueface and Chrisean were already the walking definition of chaos. Their relationship never gave off any vibes of stability or anything remotely healthy. It was drama after drama. So, of course, throwing a baby into the mix, that was just setting up a disaster waiting to unfold. As expected, Blueface didn't hesitate to stir things up. He immediately took to social media to declare that the baby wasn't his. The craziest part? He went as far as accusing Chrisean of trying to pass off another man's child as his. At that moment, it was like watching a car crash unfold in slow motion. Their back and forth had everyone shaking their heads, because it was the same chaotic vibe they'd been giving off all along, just with a whole new layer of drama added. The more they aired their personal issues for the world to see, the messier everything got. Nobody could really figure out what was true anymore, but one thing was clear. Their relationship was never going to be anything resembling peaceful or stable. Blueface tweeted, "To answer y'all questions, yes, me and Rock are officially done. It's strictly business. I tried it and clearly it wasn't giving before she announced. She's pregnant with somebody else's child, not mine. Rock has had encounters with 10 different men in the last year until I see a DNA test, then it's not mine. It's not a Blueface baby." Blueface didn't waste any time denying paternity. As soon as the news broke, he was firm in his stance, showing no hesitation or doubt whatsoever. He immediately shot down the idea, refusing to even entertain it. Instead, he insisted on a DNA test to settle the matter once and for all. Naturally, there was the usual messy back and forth between them, with both parties bringing their own emotions and unresolved issues into the mix. But in the end, Chrisean agreed to take the test. When the results came back, it was undeniable. Blueface was indeed the father.
What?
It says the alleged father is not excluded as the biological father of the fetus.
Let me hear the father. Babe, that's me, your father.
Oh, it's not.
You the father.
If anyone thought that learning he was the father would lead to a change in Blueface's behavior or spark any sort of remorse, we were all sorely mistaken. Instead of stepping up or showing any signs of responsibility, his actions only got worse. The revelation didn't soften him in the least. If anything, it made him more hostile and aggressive. He began pressuring Chrisean, urging her to get rid of the baby, and told her he would continue treating her the same way he always had, poorly. It was clear that he had no intention of being a supportive partner or father, showing no remorse or willingness to change his toxic ways. He would send texts to Chrisean saying things like, "I'm going to be a cheater forever. I'm not even gonna hide it for real. You don't want to be stuck at home with a baby while I'm with the next young bee. A baby will make us stuck, and you don't want to be stuck with somebody like me considering the way I already feel about you." Chile, not him pretty much admitting that he hates her. He didn't just try to persuade Chrisean to end the pregnancy. He escalated things and attempted to force her into it. When she refused to give in and held her ground, Blueface didn't keep his feelings to himself. Instead, he took to Twitter for a fiery rant, openly stating that he didn't want the baby and made it clear he had no intention of paying child support. It was as if he wanted everyone to see that he was completely washing his hands of the whole situation. He tweeted, "Whoever the judge is on my child support case, I told this girl I don't want the baby. She still got time to get rid of it, and she forcing it on me, so you better make the price right. She trying to trap me. Don't let her get you. She still got time to end all of this." From the very beginning of Chrisean's pregnancy, Blueface made it crystal clear to everyone, especially to her, that he had no interest in being involved with either her or the baby. Once the news broke, he stood firm in his position, consistently pressuring Chrisean to terminate the pregnancy and showing no support or sense of responsibility. His actions were cold and detached, leaving no doubt that he had no plans of stepping up as a father. Despite this, Chrisean kept pushing for Blueface to acknowledge the baby, attempting to convince him and the public that he was indeed the father, even though his behavior spoke volumes to the contrary. When the baby was born, Blueface completely changed his approach. The moment he became aware of the birth, he suddenly started acting like a concerned father, showing protective instincts over the child. He even went as far as threatening to take custody from Chrisean if things didn't go according to his plans. It was as though the birth of the baby activated some kind of paternal instinct in him, and now he was trying to position himself as the concerned, responsible father figure he hadn't been during the pregnancy. However, the real shock came when Chrisean made the decision to leave Blueface entirely off the birth certificate. Instead of honoring him by giving the baby his last name, she chose to name the child after herself, giving the baby her own first and last name, Chrisean Malone Jr. This was a bold move, not just leaving Blueface off the birth certificate, but also making sure his name was nowhere to be found in any official documents. Throughout the pregnancy, Chrisean had been loud about the baby being Blueface's, repeatedly trying to convince him, as well as the public, that he was indeed the father. She had made many efforts to push him into accepting the role of fatherhood, but her decision to leave him out of the birth certificate raised serious questions. It didn't seem to make sense to a lot of people, especially given how much she had tried to involve him before the baby was born. The shift in her actions left many wondering about the sudden change. Eventually, Chrisean explained that by the time the baby arrived, she and Blueface had already broken up, which likely played a significant role in her decision to exclude him from the birth certificate. She clarified that the circumstances surrounding their relationship at the time of the birth made it clear to her that Blueface wasn't going to be an active part of the child's life in the way she had hoped, so she made the decision to move forward on her own. A week after Chrisean gave birth, it seemed like she and Blueface had put their differences aside and managed to work things out. The tension between them seemed to dissipate, and they appeared to be back on track, with everything looking surprisingly smooth. Blueface even made the trip to Baltimore to visit her and the baby, and their shared photos painted a picture of a happy, reunited family. In those moments, he looked like a proud father, bonding with the child and savoring the precious time together. Given their apparent reconciliation, it seemed only logical for Chrisean to add Blueface's name to the birth certificate. After all, they were back together, things were improving, and he was actively involved with the baby, showing the qualities of a present father. With all the drama they'd been through, this would have been the perfect moment to make things official, to legally affirm his role as the father and solidify their family dynamic. However, despite the renewed connection, Chrisean still chose not to make any changes to the birth certificate, leaving people to wonder what was truly going on behind the scenes and if their relationship was as stable as it seemed. Yet, despite the seemingly improved situation, Chrisean still didn't add Blueface's name to the birth certificate. This decision was unexpected and raised a lot of questions. If they were truly back on solid ground, fans anticipated that Chrisean would take that final step to officially recognize him as the father, but she didn't, which didn't quite add up. People were left wondering why she wouldn't make that simple, clear-cut decision if everything was genuinely okay between them. As expected, in typical Blueface fashion, it didn't take long for drama to resurface. Chrisean accused him of trying to get back at her for not giving their child his last name. She felt like he was using their baby as a pawn, attempting to punish her for the decision to leave him off the birth certificate. It seemed like, instead of putting the past behind them, Blueface was once again using their child to create more tension. She tweeted, "You saying I'm unfit because he's not a Jonathan Jr., but he's Chrisean Junior. Tell them how you just want to take my kid because I named him after me. I'm stuck with manipulating a manipulator. He think I'm slow or dumb. And plus Blue be more concerned about your probation than taking my baby from me as leverage. I have documentation, Jonathan Porter." At this point, many were left confused, wondering why Chrisean hadn't yet added Blueface's name to the birth certificate. After all, she had agreed to the DNA test while pregnant, so why not officially confirm him as the father now that the child was born? It seemed like the most logical step, but her continued hesitation raised eyebrows. Clearly, there was something else at play that wasn't immediately obvious. Speculation started to swirl, with some people suggesting that Chrisean might have faked the DNA test entirely. This theory would explain her reluctance to make things official by adding his name to the birth certificate. It was at this point that Chrisean's ex, Ronny, came forward to claim that the baby was his. He posted side-by-side pictures of him and the baby to show just how much they look alike and said, "You are not the father at Blueface." Chrisean also seemed to confirm the rumors when she liked a post about how Ronny was the baby daddy. Ronny then made a video confirming that he and Chrisean had been intimate around the time that she got pregnant with Chrisean Junior.
"I want to make sure that Chrisean, Eugenia, Malone hears me loud and clear. Make this easier for me and make this easier for yourself by doing the right thing. You may be going through postpartum right now. You may be going through the mental baggage of being a mother and not having a good role model of a mother. You need someone that will hold you accountable and that will help Junior get the proper care that he needs. At the end of the day,
Blueface took this as proof of Chrisean's deception, and he went off on Twitter, saying, "I knew there was something off. I don't think that's my baby. That DNA test was a lil weird when I read it, seemed fake. I had no control over that test. Plus, why would you have a baby in B-more when you and the alleged father live in LA, and the guy claiming the baby live in B-more? I think they look a lot alike more than me. What do you think?" He continued, "I got one baby mama and 2 kids until further notice. I'm free. This the best news I got all year, and I'm free." He put 2 and 2 together, realizing that the envelope containing the DNA test was already open when Chrisean handed it to him, saying, "I ain't even think about that. The paper was folded up and beat up LOL. Maury test ain't never looked like that." He also confirmed that he had done a secret DNA test that came back negative. He said, "Tell me why I snook and swabbed this baby DNA test results came in. I'm not the father SMH. It's a bitter sweat feeling cause I was coming around to it, but definitely in my best interest. Thank you, Jesus." It's starting to look like Ronny could actually be the biological father, especially with all the recent twists in the story. In the last couple of weeks, he's been adamantly pushing for another DNA test, raising a lot of eyebrows and fueling speculation about what's really going on behind the scenes. To add to the mystery, there are growing whispers suggesting that the baby might be facing some kind of health issues, with reports claiming that Chrisean has allegedly refused to seek medical care for him in order to keep the truth hidden. It's starting to feel like there's a whole lot more to this situation than anyone realizes, and it's messy as hell. Things took an even darker turn with the tragic news of Relly's death. He was shot outside his home, and despite efforts to save him, he died before he could even make it to the hospital. It's devastating, especially considering he was just 24 years old with so much life left ahead of him. His death has left more questions than answers, and while details are still scarce, the rumor mill has already kicked into overdrive. Some are speculating that he might have been targeted because he was close to exposing the truth about Chrisean and her alleged lies concerning the baby. The whole situation is tragic, shrouded in mystery, and only seems to get more complicated by the day. And y'all won't believe this, but Blueface's mom, Karlissa, has been dropping hints that Chrisean might have had something to do with it. You know, Karlissa does not play when it comes to Chrisean, and she's been publicly calling her out for having a baby with Blueface. The tension between them has been obvious for a while, but now she's really putting Chrisean on blast.
We got to put on our big girl and realize we slept with a dude that already had a ready-made family, and he can't come over here and play like this, because that would destroy his foundation over there. So he can't come over here and play house with this baby. If she want me to pull up and be on his behalf until he get there, I got you. But he can't do.
Chilly. Karlissa is definitely not holding back. She's been out here dragging Chrisean for filth, and it's getting really ugly. Just recently, she's been accusing Chrisean of some serious things, like allegedly drinking while pregnant and neglecting to take little Chrisean Junior to the doctor. Karlissa is airing all these accusations with no chill, almost like she's trying to expose every little thing she can. It's clear she's on a mission to get under Chrisean's skin and make her look bad.
I'm suffering from what I see too. So I'm reacting, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm a lot of things too. But I'm not reaching out to all you that was standing there while the baby was being made and did nothing. You did nothing. You watched her. You watched her because you was scared she was in control of the money. I wouldn't have gave a about that money. I'd have snatched her up and took her to home and made sure she at least got the mental help and counseling that she needed during her pregnancy so that she wouldn't have to regret it for the rest of her life. So yes, we're all angry, but don't point the finger at me. Because I ain't never smoked no weed, drunk no liquor. I never did nothing while I was pregnant. I took my vitamins every day, even though they made me nauseous. And then I went in and I never missed a doctor's appointment. I went in and I had 3 C-sections.
After Relly's passing, Karlissa wrote, "I'm at a loss for words and my condolences to his mother and family. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm grateful to God that my son is in jail nowhere near any of this. Never put blame on anyone until they are proven guilty because the Lord said not to bear false witness. Instead, pray about it and pray about everything regardless to what your mind is telling you. God is able, Lord God, please help us all." Karlissa really knows how to be shady without being too obvious, huh? She threw some slick jabs at Chrisean, all while pretending she wasn't saying anything at all. Talking about not placing the blame on anyone, but it was clear as day she was talking about Chrisean. It's like she was throwing stones while hiding her hands, trying to be all subtle with it, but we all saw what she was doing. You can tell she's been holding on to all this for a while, just waiting for the right moment to drop it. Chile, y'all already know Karlissa stays in some mess, so it wouldn't be shocking if she's just stirring the pot again. But the fact that she's making these accusations without fully saying Chrisean's name does make you wonder if there's more going on. What do y'all think? Drop those thoughts in the comments and don't forget to stick around for the next video.